Hi there, I'm Kelly Gable, and I am the owner and creator of the Tech Savvy Academy. This month, as I mentioned, we are focused on the topic of email marketing and automation. This, I think, is one of the foundations of any small business. So I know a lot of people are reticent to do it for multiple reasons. And to be honest, I've been one of those people too. But when I started my first business way too long ago, email was really my only avenue. There was no social media. Yes, that long ago. There was no social media. And I didn't have any other avenue. It really was face-to-face, on the phone, or email. And so to me, email always kind of holds a special place in my heart, but I also think that there is a lot of bad press around it in a way. I think a lot of businesses misuse it to an effect. Not intentionally, but to the point where it becomes something that some of us are afraid of or overwhelmed by or just intimidated by. So I want to take a lot of that away up front and just say, look, wherever you're coming from in this email marketing conversation, whether you're already doing it, but you want to do it better, you are not doing it at all, you don't even think you want to do it, that's fine. Just come and listen and, ask your questions and see how you feel at the end of this. If it's something that you find some value in this or you learn something new, then I've done my job. I am not here to tell you how to run your business. Okay. Businesses are completely unique. They are as unique as the business owners. So that being said, I do believe that there are best practices in different areas, but everyone's situation is going to be different. It's all going to take a lot of trial and error. And so I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to guide you as far as what has worked for me, what has worked for my clients, what has worked for just my other, my biz besties and all of my other solopreneurs and entrepreneurs out here in the world. So I will tell you that stuff, but I will not ever tell you, you should do this or you should do that, because I don't think should is a fair assessment in this conversation. So that being said, though, that's why today is so important, because if you are wanting to move forward with your email marketing, you've probably noticed that there are a lot of options out there and there are a lot of people using different things, and maybe you don't know like how to evaluate these systems. Maybe you've only heard of one and there's probably other stuff out there, and that's what I'm here for. So as a tech savvy business coach, I do, of course, have specific platforms that I research and partner with and that I do recommend, but I never recommend just one, because I don't think they're one size fits all. I think you need to test drive, try them on for size, and see what makes sense for you. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to be giving you a little bit of information to help you kind of compare some of the different systems. A lot of this information you could find online, but I will also be giving you some of my personal insight, having played around in all of these systems. So it's not just about the features necessarily that they have at different price points, but also just the usability and, just my impressions, my experience with them as someone who's worked in a lot of different systems like this. So let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen. I will not always train with a presentation, but when it comes to stuff like this, I will have a presentation because there's just a lot of information. And I think in this case, the visuals are really helpful. So let's dive in. So we are specifically talking about email marketing, but some of what we're going to talk about, in fact, on the next slide, really applies across the board. Anytime you are needing to evaluate and choose a tool for your business. Okay. So yes, this is email marketing specifically, but this will apply across the board. So how to choose, how to evaluate. As I said a minute ago, email marketing platforms and really every type of platform they're not one size fits all. They all have different strengths and weaknesses. And beyond that, there are so many factors at play here because you are all unique as well. So the systems themselves are all unique and have different pros and cons. But as a business owner, you have different priorities and you're coming at it from a different perspective than any other business owner. So these are the top 5 questions that I think you should ask yourself when you are evaluating a system or a platform to see if it is the right choice for you or not. So one of the first questions I always ask is, how long have you been in business? And to be honest, this one kind of goes hand in hand with the 5th question, is your business turning a profit? So we all want to dive into the flashiest, smoothest, easiest systems possible, right? But sometimes that doesn't make sense because typically those platforms are going to come with a relatively high price tag. And, it's very plausible that, especially if you're growing your business while working full time, you might have the finances, you might have the income there to help you pay for those things. But it's important to recognize too that just because you personally have the money for that doesn't necessarily mean that you should treat yourself as though you have the budget. Having the money in your personal life does not necessarily apply to saying that it is part of your business budget. Yes, there is a certain amount of capital that you need to start a business, a certain number of expenses that you are going to have, overhead and all of that. And early on, you can't necessarily expect that your business income will be enough to, cover your business expenses. However, when you're just getting started, I think it's really important mindset wise that you set yourself up for the ability to feel and see your business success as early as possible. This is a mindset piece, but I think it's super important in this conversation because a lot of small businesses, and I don't know the statistics, but I would bet that they're staggering. A lot of small businesses die out within the first year, within the first 6 months. And a lot of that comes from this feeling of no progress, of not making any money, not making enough money. And the more that you pay for your tools and your platforms, the more likely you're going to feel like you're not making any money because you're spending so much just to keep your business afloat every month. So that being said, there are so many free up to a certain amount of subscribers and super affordable options out there that are maybe not quite as smooth. They maybe don't have all the bells and whistles that you want, but early on in your business, they are completely sufficient. And I think that's really, personally, I think it's wise to start with as low a cost and as low overhead in your business as humanly possible. Because there are some things that you're just going to have to pay for, right? There are some things you're going to have to invest in. And that's typically, in my opinion, in my experience, that's typically the one-on-one interaction with a business coach or business mentor, or taking specific courses that teach you how to do certain strategies or how to be a coach if that's what you're trying to do. Those things, while there are typically free webinars and free challenges, they don't dive very deep. And so investment in your education as a business owner, I think, is something that you really can't get around. But when it comes to the platforms, you absolutely can. So keep that in mind. How long have you been in business, and is your business turning a profit? Have you used any email marketing platforms before, and how tech savvy do you consider yourself? Again, maybe I should reorder these questions because they're kind of going with each other. What is your experience working within tech systems? Maybe in your day job or in previous careers, you've had quite a bit of experience working in different software and you find that you pick things up pretty easily. That's important to know, because even if you've never been in an email marketing platform before, they're relatively intuitive if you're someone who works within software and business systems already. So that can be a really important guidance for you, I guess, as you are approaching this conversation and this evaluation. And then it's also important to make note of how many subscribers you currently have. And for anyone who is just starting out with an email marketing platform, that answer is probably 0, and that is great. Okay, don't feel in any way bad about that, because as you will see in a minute, the number of subscribers you have does affect your bottom line. So it's not necessary that you have a huge subscriber list, especially starting out. So just keep note of that. That is going to play a role though, because pricing changes on these platforms depending on how many subscribers you have. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so I am going to compare 4 really popular options for you today. This is the most current information that is out there right now. In fact, I redid these slides last night to make sure that I had the most up-to-date information, because these systems change all the time. So this is current as of yesterday. So I'm going to say as of today. And today is, in case anybody's watching this way in the future, today is August 5th, 2021. Okay. So Mailchimp. This is the one that most people have heard of. You've probably seen some of us talking about this one on an earlier thread this week. So Mailchimp is really, really well known. They do a lot of advertising. So most, I'm sorry, I need some water. Most small business owners have a tendency to dive into this one first, simply because it's recognizable. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. Mailchimp knows that they are the first choice of many new entrepreneurs. So because of that, their free version allows you to have up to 2,000 subscribers for free, which is fantastic. That's, to my knowledge, that is for systems that are, not open source and things like that. For the streamlined commercialized systems, that is the highest number of free subscribers that you can have. So that's awesome. That's a huge plus. However, keep in mind on Mailchimp, even people who are unsubscribed contacts in your list count towards your subscriber count. So there are some systems that will not count people who have unsubscribed. And so it helps you maintain that list a little bit better. So Mailchimp does not do that. So that is kind of an offset of them allowing you to have so many subscribers. If people unsubscribe, they still count. Okay. They also have some email automation at the free level, but it is limited. This has changed over the last few years. They used to have like a kind of an old school automation interface that was part of their free plan. And then they had more of an automation map, which I'll be showing you later, that was only available if you upgraded. Now, even their old school automation style, their interface, it's still there and available for you, but they now only allow you to schedule 1 email. Whereas it used to be that you could create an email automation that had multiple emails that would go out at a pace that you set, right? Based on triggers that you set up. So now, yes, you can automate an email, but it is a 1 email automation, which isn't a huge deal as you're starting out, but over time, that does become an issue. You have to get a little creative and do what some people do is create secondary automations that trigger off the first one. It can get a little complicated, so just be aware of that. They do also have landing pages, which we're going to be talking about in a future month, but landing pages are a huge part of email marketing in general, because it is typically the place where you provide some sort of freebie or offering to potential customers, and they sign up with their email address in order to get it. And landing pages are useful for that. One of the reasons that having landing pages in the same system as your email is helpful is that it's just more streamlined as far as how they're able to talk to each other, so that when someone signs up, they very easily automatically show up on your contact list. So it is helpful for them to be in the same system. They also have a number of standard templates available for email automation, or I'm sorry, for emails, as well as for landing pages. So that is really helpful too, because if you are new to this and you're not a graphic designer, then, you know, like myself, you're not a graphic designer, then you need a little bit of guidance as far as how to design and style your emails and your landing pages, right? So that's really helpful. Also, because Mailchimp is, like I said, one that's really, really out there in the world, it has a lot of potential integrations with other systems. And we're going to be talking about integrations in the future too, but integrations are, in my opinion, the secret sauce of being a solopreneur and having freedom as a solopreneur. So we will talk about that in the future. Okay, second one, MailerLite. This is another one that you probably saw in that thread the other day. A lot of people are using this. This is the one I've been recommending the most lately. However, I'm starting to waver on that a little bit, and I will tell you why. So MailerLite also has a free version up to 1,000 subscribers, unlike the Mailchimp 2,000 subscribers. MailerLite, however, does have email automations that allow you to have multiple emails in the automation, which is a big bonus on the MailerLite side compared to Mailchimp. They do also have landing pages available to you. So for the same ease and smooth, streamlined aspect of adding people to your list, you have that all in one system. One kind of recent negative here is that MailerLite no longer gives their free subscribers, they don't give their free customers access to their templates anymore. You can see them, I believe, but you can't use them. So that's a bit of a struggle, right? Because if you're new to this and you don't know how to design your emails or your landing pages, you're kind of a little bit on your own there, right? However, you are able to, as you create something for yourself, you are able to save it as a template and then use it on future emails and landing pages. So you don't have to do everything from scratch every time, but you do need to come at it from a perspective of figuring out how to lay out your email or your landing page on your own, or using maybe another resource to help you with that, okay? MailerLite does also have quite a few possible integrations as well, because it is a growing and becoming more known platform. And the third one we're going to talk about, ActiveCampaign. This is one that I am personally using myself. I've been using it for a couple of years, and I really enjoy it a lot. So ActiveCampaign is the only one that does not have an all free version. They do have a 14-day free trial, so you can test it out. But when you first get started with them, I believe it's up to 500 subscribers. It's $9 a month, which is not bad. They also do not count unsubscribed contacts as subscribers, so that helps a lot. And list cleanup is one of those things you can do to make sure that, you know, people who are sitting on your subscriber list that are not engaging with anything can get unsubscribed or inactivated and moved off of your list, so they don't count against your subscribers. So we can talk about that in the future as well. If there are questions about that, let me know. But that is something that helps make ActiveCampaign something that stays low ticket for a long time. In fact, I believe I'm still paying $9 a month for this. I think might be a little bit more now, but I pay for the year, so I'd have to go check that. But I double checked it, and their pricing has not changed. It's $9 a month for 500 subscribers. You do get email automations. They have multiple emails allowed in the automations, and they're also using the automation map style, as is MailerLite, which I didn't mention. They also use the automation map style, which I will show you in a minute. It's a nice visual. It makes it a little bit easier to understand the path of your emails. So that is a plus. ActiveCampaign also includes forms at this level, which is not the same as a landing page. Landing pages are only available at a higher price point. And if I'm honest, it's a pretty big jump between the two price points. I believe in order to get to landing page level, it goes up to like $49 a month for 500 subscribers. So that is significant. But they do have forms that you can embed elsewhere in your website, or even just send out a link directly to the form. So there is still a way to capture email information and opt-ins and stuff like that and get people on your list. It's just not going to be a landing page created inside the site at this price point. They do have a lot of available templates, and to be honest, I haven't used a lot of them lately, but their landing page templates, I really like them. I think they're really very modern and nice looking. They have a lot of different variety there, so that is a plus in this system. And there are quite a lot of integration possibilities in this one as well. And the last one we're going to talk about is another one a lot of people know, and this is ConvertKit. ConvertKit used to be similar to ActiveCampaign in that they did not have a free version. But during COVID, they recognized the need for a free version, and they created an up to 1,000 subscribers free version. So they have that. They do allow for email broadcasts, but here, this is the only one of these platforms that in their free level does not allow for any automation in their emails. And if I'm really, really upfront and honest about it, I think that's a really big con to this one. With Mailchimp, it's limited, but at least you're able to set up an immediate response to somebody signing up for your list. And on ConvertKit side, without any automation available to you, then you aren't able to do that. So it takes away from the customer's journey quite a bit, in my opinion. Their landing pages, they do have unlimited landing pages and unlimited forms. But again, when someone uses that and signs up, if you're at this free level, they don't automatically get an email from you, which means they have to wait until you see that they've signed up and then you send them the email manually. So that's a big deal in my opinion. They have a lot of available templates. They're highly focused on creators and creatives at this company. So if that's you, this is definitely a company worth looking at, because as your business grows and your subscriber list grows, they might be the best choice to grow with you. They also give you the ability to sell digital products. And I think that's also because of the fact that they are focused on creators and creative types. And I believe, don't quote me on this one, but I believe the first level of upgrade for them is $11 a month. So not horrible. Still for that 1,000 subscribers, but it gives you more access. It gives you some automation and some other things like that. So not a horrible option if you are ready to pay for your platform at some level. All right, so some things to remember. When a system, or really anything, I mean, let's get real, but when a platform is free, there will be a catch. There will always be a catch. There are no truly free systems that I'm aware of that are smooth and have, an easy interface. So they're all going to have different limitations. We've talked about a bunch of them just now, but that's super important to keep in mind. When it's free, you cannot expect perfection out of it. No system is going to have that. Even if you're in a system that you maybe are not in love with right now and you hear about, and I do this too, so no judgment at all. But if you hear about a system that you're like, oh, that system's free or it's cheaper than what I'm using, I should switch to that. Slow your roll, do your research, test drive it before you make any changes, because I have almost done this about 2 or 3 times in the last year. As all these new platforms come out, I have almost switched so that I was in a free platform. But as I did more research, I learned things about that platform, functionality, and things that I was going to lose that was not worth it to me. So always do your research first before you jump ship to try the next shiny object, because if you've never done it before, let me tell you right now, migrating from one system to another is not fun and it is time consuming. So make sure it is the right choice before you jump ship, okay? Offerings change constantly, and I've said this a couple of times already in this training. So every platform wants to be the be all and end all platform for everyone. And they do it in different ways. Sometimes it's by offering discounts and things like that. And other times it's by adding functionality and things like that. They're all changing. So it's really, really important to stay on top of all the new stuff that they're sending out, beta offerings that are coming out, maybe even in the platform that you're in right now. Stay on top of all that before you make any changes to switch, because last year, ActiveCampaign didn't have landing pages at all. And I was literally about to pull the plug and switch over to ConvertKit because I wanted landing pages. And literally it was like they heard my thoughts, because I got an email saying, hey, we're doing a beta, we're sending, we're creating landing pages within ActiveCampaign and all of that. And if I had switched, I would have had to start all over, and for no reason, right? So always do your research. And I know that tech is not everybody's thing. It's totally my thing though. So that's what I do with my weekly newsletter. I am keeping you guys apprised of any new cool information that I learn about different platforms and systems and stuff, because I am partnered with a lot of them. So I get a lot of updates from them, sometimes even sneak peek updates. So if you want to stay on top of that stuff, but you know that realistically you're not going to do it, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter, and every week I will keep you updated on that stuff. Okay. I will be putting some links and stuff in the comments on this video for easy access. So you can always find links to the different things I'm talking about in those places. Okay. Test drive them all. So I will be putting links to all of these different systems in the comments here. I highly recommend, if you are just starting out, or even if you're just wanting to see if the grass is greener, test drive all of them. It doesn't hurt you to do it. They're all free on some level as you start. And you get a chance to feel them out and see, if it feels better to you, if you like the options they have, maybe you like their templates better or whatever. You're not committing to anything by test driving them. So jump in and give it a shot. And I will, for full disclosure, say that at least some of the links that I will be posting are affiliate links. I am partnered with not all, but some of these systems, because I think they're a great option, and I refer them a lot. So one of my business strategies, in addition to everything else I do, is affiliate marketing. So yes, there will be some that are affiliates that I may get credit or even income from you choosing to use it, if you so choose. Okay. Let's see, a couple more things to remember. Prioritize your business needs. So every platform, as you've seen, has its specialty. You need to think about what is most important to you right now and go with a platform that is focused on the same things you are. So whether automation is important, landing pages, some are better with analytics and reporting. Those are things that you need to keep in mind and really evaluate as you're deciding what system you're going to use. Manage your expectations. So I've also said this a few times, but no system is going to be perfect. Even if you're paying for it, it's still not going to be perfect. So keep that in mind. Again, it comes back to your priorities. Make sure that the system you choose is successful and focus, I guess, on the same priorities that you have, so that you can make sure that it's going to work the best for you. But do not expect any of these to do everything that you need, because they won't. That's what integrations are for. They're there to supplement the platforms that you choose and help them speak to each other. So we will talk about that in the future, but that's really important to keep in mind. Okay. And just keep it simple. I mean, like I said, I know we all want to start with, flashy and smooth and easy to use, but realistically, you don't need all of that stuff. You don't need all the bells and whistles. Start simple with something that you can understand and use consistently, and then upgrade as you grow. So this is what an email automation map looks like. And I just wanted to give you guys that little bit of just a visual, so that you can understand that, this is a very clear path. It's easy for you to see not only the emails that go out, but also what triggers this automation, and also the timeframes between each email trigger. So this is an important thing to note, and we will be looking at this one again in a couple of weeks. But I just wanted to give you a visual of what that looks like, and just talk about the mindset behind automation, because You might be sitting here watching this and saying to yourself, okay, well, but I'm totally doing fine with manually sending out emails to my clients. Or, I know, I think it was Yahara said the other day that her company, she works in a network marketing business, that her company sends out emails. And so why does she need to do any of this and all of that? And fair point, fair questions. But I really do think it's a mindset thing, because whether you're doing it manually yourself or whether you are allowing your parent company to do it for you, ultimately, there's a level of growth and scalability that you are aiming towards. And the mindset behind having ownership over and creating automation and like taking a lot of it out of your hands on a day-to-day basis, it really just sets you up mindset-wise to grow. Otherwise, I feel like on some level, subconsciously, you're holding yourself back from that growth because you're not technically prepared to handle it if you did grow to that level. So I think it's really, really important just to note that now, and to note that now at the beginning is the time to set up those systems, not when you already need them. So you may feel like right now you don't have any subscribers, you don't have enough customers. Why is this important now? I'll do it later. Let me tell you, in the corporate world and in my own business, the time to set these things up is when it is slower, is when it is new, not when things are already hopping and you're super busy, okay? This is the time to set that stuff up. So what do you do now? Okay, so I've shown you how to evaluate and choose your email marketing platform, and what are you supposed to do next? And honestly, just start doing it. So like I said, I'm going to be posting all of those links on this video. But in addition to that, I'm going to give you guys something extra special. And this is something that I don't give away often because typically people buy these. But I know that jumping into something new like this can be really intimidating, especially on the side of what the heck do I send people? What do I say to them? So I have decided to give you guys from what's called a swipe file. It is my template for my first welcome email. Now, we're going to talk about emails and email series, you know what I mean, in the next couple of weeks. But I want you to keep in mind that no matter what emails you send out to people, one of the most important ones is welcoming them into your audience, but also telling them about you. And so this email template is going to give you a great way to do that, to let them know a little bit about you and your business and who you help best, and just welcoming them into your family, okay? So if you want that, you'll be able to click on that link. I'm going to put it in the comments and all of that so that you can click and opt in and grab that for yourself.